What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. My name is Cheptoek Boyo, and today we have Polycarp Otieno, popularly known as Fancy Fingers mwenyewe, the finger legend.
Ndio hiyo sasa.
Okay.
That sounds
bad.
That
sounds horrible.
Yes.
Polycarp, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Karibu sana.
You're taller than me. Ama is it our positions?
Yes. Now, yes. You are currently, you have released your album, which is a collaborative album with Winyo.
Yes.
Jawaya Jethum.
Yes.
How did this happen?
Where do you want me to start?
Nani ali approach Nani?
So I approached him. So let me give you a backstory. I always say this story. Winyo, I've been a huge fan of his music. Yeah. So what people don't know is Winyo was in a band called Rateng Band. I don't know if you ever came across them. And me and Bien were huge fans of them. So I think it was their album launch. They had an album launch on a Sunday, and we went for the concert. And that show in itself shaped a lot of my direction of music, and even Sauti Sol's direction. So since then, I've been a huge fan, of course, listening to his stuff. And then now, fast forward after COVID, 2022, I think, as we are now doing Alone Together, in the band Sauti, so everyone is exploring their own paths. So usually I go out of town. Sometimes I carry my equipment to create. And once I did that, there's a time that I did that, and I set up. So it was in the evening. So I set up first, and then I was like, tomorrow morning I'm going to start recording. Then I set up. Then you just know creativity sometimes comes at the oddest times. Yeah. So an idea came to my head, and I was like, let me record this. And I recorded it, and the first person that came to my mind was Winyo. And it was also the first time I sang in Luo, like fully. And the song is Akinyi, for those who want to listen to the album. So that was our first song together. I was in Limuru. I called him. I was like, bro, the time is now. We've been talking about this. And he came all the way to Limuru, where I was staying. And we recorded that night. We bonded so much. I think we sat down for 3 hours without doing anything, just talking to each other, catching up. And in that one night, we did 6 songs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's the beginning.
The album is 13 songs. Why did you settle for that number specifically?
Because we have almost 24 songs. So I was like torn between putting all those songs together in one album or doing like 2 parts of the album. So I decided on the latter. So this is what you're listening to is literally volume 1. And volume 2 is nearly ready. It's there. So the music is there. When
will it be dropping?
Hopefully around September. That's the plan. So September we'll have volume 2 out. But it's we create, our creative process is amazing because the chemistry is just really good. And I always make a joke that we have eye contact like this. That's a song.
You're majorly a contemporary artist in that you sing mainly in your previous album. You mainly sing in English.
Yes.
But this is more of banger pop.
Yeah.
Has it been challenging for you singing in Luo?
Actually, good question. I love challenges. I'm that kind of person. I never settle I'm never in a comfort zone. Once I achieve something, I'm like, okay, this is something that I want to try. What will it take for me to get there? So my Luo is not the best. That I have to admit. Being a city boy, being raised in a city. But I've always loved my culture, always listened to a lot of Luo music. Also learning a lot of Luo just from listening to music. And now partnering with someone like Winyo who sings 90% in Luo is something for me that's very, it's something that I'm attracted to because I want to learn so much about my culture. I guess I'm at that age where culture is everything. Culture defines who you are, where you come from. And that really, it kind of shapes you. Like you kind of discover a side of you that you didn't know. and that's very powerful also. So it's been exciting, not challenging. It's been very, very exciting. And he's also, so it's like an exchange, because also from his side, he's never done contemporary pop the way we do.
Yeah.
So him coming into this world also is like, when I tell him, people ask guys, we know we like it like this. This is the kind of formula that we go with. And then it's like, oh, okay, interesting. Then we go, then we create something amazing. Or he tells me, in Benga, you can't sing in this kind of intonation because it won't sound like Luo. So you have to switch it. So that means technically you have to switch harmonies and stuff like that. So it's just a good mishmash.
Now, the Kenyan audience, it's like they're appreciating Benga.
Yeah.
But Benga rap, Benga pop, Benga whatever.
Yes,
the fusion that is coming in.
Yeah.
Having released this current album, how has been the
reception?
Yes.
Oh yeah. So to what you said, yes. I think actually Kenya is at a very golden stage. I don't think people realize it, and it keeps getting better and better. And it's not just Benga, because there's a lot of cultural music that is fused with pop. That is really, that's all people are listening to right now. We're not even listening to music from outside that much in this country right now. And as I say, that is we're in a golden era. So everyone taking this direction, and making it, and people really loving the music. Yeah, it inspires also the young artists to take the same direction. So it shapes culture, shapes urban culture in the city even, and across the country. The reception honestly has been fantastic, really amazing. Kenyans are loving it. And also we kind of knew, when you're making something, you kind of have the feeling, you're like, this is something that people will love, because people are also in that space. And sometimes the work of an artist is to kind of read the audience. People are into a lot of cultural pop music right now, so give them that, and that's also expressing. They get what they want. You express yourself the way you actually would want, and you don't have to be someone else. You can only be yourself. If it's cultural, I can only be exactly who I am. And that is a plus for all of us. So
which is your favorite song on the album?
It keeps changing.
Currently.
Man, now even we're rehearsing for a concert. So every day when you rehearse something, now today we rehearsed Angang, and it's in my head. Even now as you're talking, it's playing in my head. So I guess that's the current favorite. But I guess it keeps changing. I love Jawaya Jathom a lot. I love Inemar. I love all the songs. Man, I'm a fan of my own music, to be honest. I love all the songs. Yeah.
In the past album, you collaborated with an all-female, rather musician.
Yeah.
And this was the Love Language album.
Yes.
Now you're collaborating with Winyo.
Yeah.
Will we get to see more collaborations coming out, or will there be a point where you'll want again to do your solo thing before jumping in?
Good question. Interesting enough. So as I'm getting my own path as a musician, coming off of Sauti Sol, coming off of a group, there's still some things sometimes that are so in you, in a way, that are wired, I guess. And for me, I'm a great collaborator. Like working with people, I bring the best out of people. So I love collaborations, and there will be a lot. There are a lot of collaboration projects that I have not been released. But also, sometimes I just want to do my own stuff, express myself. I do a lot of instrumental stuff also, and that's something that I want to explore even more. With just playing guitar stuff, singing as well. I'm always trying stuff. Always, I'm at a place of discovery. So the water keeps running, and I just want to make sure that I maximize on that. So I'm just trying. There's no specific direction. I'm just trying anything that I can. If I feel someone fits better in this kind of style that I'm doing, then I call them. If I feel it's just for me, then it's just for me. Yeah.
I think you're the most hardworking artist. You're either producing for someone else or for yourself.
Yeah.
And if it's for yourself, you're still churning out continuously projects. How hard has it been for you to mold your career coming out of Sauti Sol and now being an independent artist?
I don't like saying hard, because there's nothing hard about it. It's just a new chapter. And a new chapter, again, it's about perception. So it's how you look at it. If you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I was used to this kind of setup, and now I can't, be a chameleon. For me, I take it with grace. And honestly, it was needed for all the four of us. It was needed. We speak almost every day, actually. And sometimes it's very intimate to sit down and how are you? How are you coping with, the current situation? Do you need any help, or, how are you faring? And for me, it's been, again, a path of discovery, and that's exciting. I don't know, you discovering parts of yourself can only be exciting for me. So that's how I take it. So it's not hard. I wouldn't say hard is the word. I'm just excited for this journey, to be honest. And I'm discovering amazing things about myself that also I didn't know. Or I didn't get to explore that side. Because when I'll give you examples. But it's like within a band, you have roles automatically. We didn't even choose and say, okay, you'll become this. No, they just morph themselves. Like, oh, okay. So this is the guy who does this, the guy who does this. And now when you're by yourself, you now have to expand, and try other stuff and be like, okay, how would I sound on a house track, for example, by myself? Okay, someone else was used to writing songs, or someone else was used to producing, someone else was used to doing this. What if I put myself in that position? And you discover that art is quite extensive, because art is an expression. And once you're an artist, I always say you can get into any form of art as long as you really put yourself in it. So that's it. I'm not saying I'm going to be a rapper. That's out of the question. But anything else around music is something that I have really, really explored. Now you listen to music differently. Before, let's say an example. So within Sauti, I would listen to songs for inspiration. Yeah. And what I'm getting from the songs mostly is the how to explain, I would listen to production elements. I would listen to arrangements, but maybe I would not listen to the lyrics as much. So it's like in that order. But now, because I'm doing all these things, so I have to listen with a different ear. It's like, okay. Oh, I didn't know. Even I go back to songs that I used to listen, I'm like, oh my gosh, this writing is beautiful. I didn't even think of it this way. Or these singing intonations are really good, So now I have all my ears are now, all the tentacles are on deck.
You have to be very alert.
Very alert, yeah. So that's it's not nothing hard. I don't like to see it as hard. It's just challenging, exciting, and I'm here for it.
Good for you. Now, being a producer, are you open to doing scores for film and TV productions?
Yeah, actually, I just came off of doing, I think, one of my biggest scoring gigs at the moment. It's a documentary that's going to be featured at the Toronto Film Festival, which is the biggest film festival in the world. Yeah, so doing that I've always wanted to score for film, because I am a very good arranger. That I know. I'm a very good musician, and I love to bring emotions out and fuse it with picture. And even when I watch movies, half of the time I'm seeing how they've fused in music, what kind of music into what kind of scene and why, and how the emotions are brought out. Because music is everything. I think music is a soundtrack of our lives, literally. So, anything that we do with music. It's always there. You work out, you walk, you run, you sing, you cry, you go for a funeral, you go for a birthday, all these things. Music is involved.
Yes.
So even when watching movies on film, it's something that has always excited me to want to do that, and I'm now doing it. So So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do score for films. Yes.
So for this particular score, did they send you the visuals and then now you create?
You create from scratch. And I actually did it with Winyo. We did it together. So yeah, it's just sent bare. So they sent with it's called temp music. It's temporary music of the kind of maybe mood that want and feel and all of that. And then they give you a nice kind of lowdown of, a summary in a way. And then you create from scratch. So you have to be I think I watched the film maybe 6 times to just really immerse myself, get myself in the emotion, and feel everything. So that when I create the music, then I can bring that out.
So to in a project like that, do you also earn royalties from it, or is it just a one-off payment and then you're done?
So there's different formats. There's can be work for hire. Just a one payoff. You say your price and this is it. You can, like what we did for this, also included some, I think 2 songs of from the album as well, just parts of it in there. So that means they don't own that music. So it's different. Some of the music you can reuse for your own. So let's say one of them, we want it to be in volume 2 that we've put in the film. So in the contract, if that's what you'd want, then you're like, okay, can we have a clause where it says we can use this song for later on? So it's all different because it's like a patch of many pieces of music. And every piece sometimes has its own life. So it depends. Sometimes you can get all of them as one and you get a paycheck and that's it. So it just depends on the film. It depends on the client. It depends on all of that. Yeah.
On the album, Jawaya Jatum, you've also collaborated with other artists.
Yeah.
Why those artists?
I didn't sit down and say, this one I want. So I wait to do a song and I'll know what the song wants. The song tells me what it wants. It's like, I want to have a live bass. Okay. I want to have Lisa Oduor here. I'm like, okay, your wish is my command. Let's get Lisa. So the only 2 artists there are actually Rosa and Lisa. Is there anyone else? Yeah, it's those 2 artists, right? And like Rosa's case, for example, it's because that was our first song, me and Winyo, as that story that I told you earlier. And I called it Akinyi. So I wrote the song as Akinyi and I called Winyo. And then later on I was like, this actually would be nice with a lady, responding.
The Akinyi.
The Akinyi. And because it's urban, it was like a fusion of benga and hip hop and some rock in a way. I was like, okay, someone like Rosa. So I'd want an urban Luo girl. And Rosa came to mind. And interesting enough, she's also called Akinyi. So she's a true Akinyi. Imagine. So literally we found the perfect match, because the song told me. If I didn't listen to the song telling me I want this person, then I'd get someone that doesn't fit the bill, or So you also have to listen to keenly to what the song wants. Yeah.
Looking at the African landscape and the artists who are currently there, who do you want to work with?
Well, I never put my foot on who I'd want to work with because, as I mentioned before, for me, music is what is chemistry. Music is not just doing it for the sake of doing it. So it has a deeper meaning. However, I'd say there's a couple of people that I would absolutely love to work with.
On your wish list.
Yes, so the Cavemen are probably top of my list. I don't know if you know the Cavemen.
I do not know. I will just go and search.
Okay, the Cavemen are 2 brothers from Nigeria that do amazing music. The music is great, and they used to play for Wizkid, Asha. Yeah, so they used to be.
Oh, Asha.
Yes, that lady.
Devil be gone.
Yes, that one. They call her Asha.
Oh,
it's Asha.
It's Asha.
Yeah,
okay.
Asha. So those will be top of my list. But then, to be honest, I'm so open. The African music is so amazing, man. I was in Cameroon sometime last year, and the musicians I met there was crazy. So I don't care whether you're known, you're famous, you're not known. As long as you have great music and your great vibes, we will make music, as long as we need to make the music. So that's how I approach. I never have like a list. So I'm just go. Even in my studio usually, when I see people online that are doing great stuff, I'm like, yo, can you do something together? It's like, yeah, sure. Then we link up and do stuff. Yeah.
When this government got into power, there was a lot of noise on creative economy.
Yeah.
As an artist, do you feel they're helping you guys in any way?
Not at the moment, to be honest. There's so many ways that I feel they could. First of all, they need, if they don't see this as something that's like a career that's viable, that many of our young people are now taking, things that are in the creative economy, for as their careers. So if they don't see that first, then it's very hard for them to really see the loopholes and see what needs to be changed and what needs to be done. Up until they get to that point, it's kind of hard to have high expectations. So I don't know. Maybe there's some things that are happening that I may not know of, but I haven't had something massive. I haven't had them say, okay, we've built 10,000 arena capacity that's made for live music here to just build this economy. I've not had that. I've not had that taxes have been reduced on instruments coming in from outside. I've not had that. I've not had this capacity building here where we have a factory of making instruments and it's being made from here and we're exporting that. I've not had that. So there's so many things that can be done or should be done. But as I said, if they don't see, then they can't do anything. I guess. Yeah.
As a producer, a songwriter, and a musician, have you made any money through royalties on MCSK, Camp, Prisk platforms?
MCSK, that is very controversial.
Not even as Sauti Sol, as
nothing to say that it has fed me for a month and I'm happy and that's the truth. I've not at all.
Averagely, how much?
The ones that you see we post,
these
are 1,500, 3,000 shillings. So it's, and many people actually opting to get into other bodies, register in other bodies, because honestly, it doesn't make sense. This is my work. This is what put food on my table. Yeah. So if someone else is siphoning money off of my art and my music, why should I still be in that camp, in that collecting society? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's like I'm not working for you.
Yeah,
I'm working for myself to make sure that I get the money that I deserve to make, or the living that I deserve to live. So if you're not doing that for me and that I have to go through you, I don't have to go through you, then I'll go through someone else.
Yeah. You often share moments with your son on social media. What values do you hope to instill in him? Because I think you're a very intentional father.
Yes, 100%. With my son, I think, Jesus, every day is just different because you kind of have to be so attentive, and because kids grow so fast. So I can go away for a week and come back, and maybe what I told him last week does not apply anymore. It's like now I have to be more real with him and tell him. But for him, honestly, this one is still a lot of belief in him to know that he can be whoever he wants to be. Like he has that capacity to be whoever he wants to be. Of course, a lot of respect to even his friends. It doesn't matter whether they're older or younger, to people around him, his family, to just be this very understanding and loving human being. And also to prepare him for the world, because the world is not a cozier place as it may be for him right now, being a child. So sometimes you prepare him for some stuff. You tell him something happens. Sometimes maybe there's something as serious as death in the family. So you're like, how do I explain this to him? Because I remember last week I went for a a funeral in Karatina. One of my dad's friends passed away. And even explaining that to him, and he asks a lot of questions.
Which is good.
Whoa.
Curious kids.
Yeah, it's like, okay, where are you going? I'm going, and I can't lie also. So I never ever, because that's one thing that I also want to instill into him is be as truthful as you can always. Because even as an adult, sometimes you lie thinking a kid does not, like you can get away with it because they're kids.
Yeah.
But my son, he will remind you.
The hybrid.
Yeah, as a proper, he'll remind you, and if you go against what you said, he sometimes he would do the same. It's like, oh, so this is what people do. Okay, so I can twist myself like this. So I never lie. And if I make a mistake, I tell him, listen, I'm sorry. I couldn't, like today, for instance, I was supposed to pick him up from school. And I was like, oh, snap, I can't. So let me make arrangements. So when I get home, I have to apologize that I'm sorry I could not come because I was held up at work. But I made sure that you got home safe, So, but then if I tell him I'm coming in the morning, that I'll come and pick you, and I don't say anything, it hurts him so much.
Oh. It's a broken
promise. But then as adults, sometimes you may see it as kitu kidogo.
He'll get over it.
But you see, for kids, everything is so massive to them.
Yeah.
Whatever is massive in your life right now, think of it as, to him, that's exactly how he feels. Yeah, so I mean, there are many values, of course, but I guess those are some of them that I really want to instill in him. Yeah.
Would you want to expand your family ama hapa?
I mean, that's a question for two people. Not just one person. But I love kids. I absolutely love kids. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, nilisikia fununu wewe haupendi kabisa ama haukuli nyama na hautaki kukula nyama. Mbona umeamua hii life ya kukua kama sungura? Rabbit life.
Let me rabbit in. Nice. So I made a choice of not eating meat, and it's been 7 years now. Well, that's what they call being a vegan, though I don't like to put titles, honestly. And I mean, there's so many reasons for that, and that's the space I am in right now. I may go back to eating meat maybe tomorrow. You don't know. So in the space that I am right now, the person that I am right now, and that I've been, or that I am evolving into, is in 2018, I believe, we went on a tour to the States. And we were in New York for quite a long time, I think. But when you're touring across, a week and a half is long. It's like you need to keep moving. And I'm telling you, the food really messed me up. Because the longest time I was in a place, in one spot, that's outside home. That's in America, for example. And I was just starting to get, I'm like, I'm not feeling the nutrients as I'm supposed to feel. This meat is just not for me. And that's me. I'm speaking for myself. And my energy was down, my mood was going down. And I was like, okay, let me just start eating just veggies then. Let me see how that goes. As I'm still in America. And I just got a nice feeling. I was like, oh, this is great. This is something I can try. And then when I got back to Nairobi, I was like, okay, you know what? There's some things that I've always also been forcing to eat that have been messing me up. Like dairy. Maziwa was just messing. But then I would have, unajua chai ya mshuto. Maziwa tupu. Maziwa tupu.
You enjoy the tea and then now you start.
Yeah, then it's like, the rest is fine. We'll handle later. And then you realize actually you're not alone. There's many people who are lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So when I eliminated that, from my diet, and this is from having eat probably even 4 times a day, because you have it in the morning, and in the middle you have like a yogurt because you're hungry or something, and you don't have time to eat, and then chai ya saa 10, then usiku before lale you want a hot chocolate, or you want, so it was quite a lot. So when I eliminated that, I started feeling so good. And I'm not bloated anymore. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then I eliminated processed foods. So sausages, bacon, all that kind of stuff. All the good stuff. In quotes. And just also getting to a place where I was learning so much about. So that transition is also kind of similar to the transition I'm going through now, because then I was also trying to learn more about myself, how my body works, and how, just trying to unlearn things that we've been taught by society about even food. Like, okay, why is it that I have to stock my fridge with sausages that for me I don't really, and what are they made from? What are they? What's the nutrition benefit? And everything like that. And then I realized also it's coming from a place of, it's because I grew up with out of a place of lack, and now I've gotten money, and now it is a sign of prestige. Fill up your fridge with this. So it's not even because I love it. It's because society says
you can afford it now.
You can afford it, and when someone comes and opens the fridge, oh wow. You're stocked. So it's not for your health. And then I just got into this rabbit hole. I really got into learning about foods, nutrition, became sort of like a herbalist even. Started getting into herbs. Taking a lot of herbs and seeing the benefits of herbs. Traditionally what was used, Eastern medicine, how do they heal each other? How do they heal themselves? Sorry. And that just took me to a place of like, wait, some things don't make sense. Like if I have a headache, doesn't mean I have to take Panadol immediately. It could mean that I didn't eat well today. It could mean that I didn't have enough water. It could mean that maybe, just those things. So it's like the food is so key to our being and our day-to-day movements and everything, and even how we feel, that we actually underestimate it a lot. Food is everything. And even eventually, all lifestyle diseases are caused by foods we eat, not anything else.
Yes.
So you could be here living your life, and then when you get to 50s, you've gotten whatever lifestyle disease that you get, and you're like, man, at 50, I'm like, I should be enjoying my life so much more. I need more time to enjoy my life, not at this time. So it's just to really lead a healthy life that will make me work or be at my optimum level, because I really seek for that. Even that time, actually, that was one of the reasons. Like, I'm at a place where I want to be at my optimum best. Okay, what do I need to do? I need to, start working out. Okay, I need to eat right. So what does eating right mean? Then I got into all of that, and this is where I landed.
So in your house, nyama inaweza pikwa?
Nyama inaweza pikwa lakini haipikwangi. It's so interesting because it's a choice that at home, let's say my wife made also. It's like there's no need to have to cook meat in the house. So I was like, okay, great. And for my son also, because kids grow up most of the time not really loving vegetables, but it's because also we don't cook them right. Or we side dish them.
Small.
It's a side dish. Like veg is a side dish. It's like unakula ugali nyama
na kamboga.
So it's on the side. So what if that becomes the main chick? So how, and they're very much, can be a proper main chick. And then you just see the options that you have. I'm telling you, when you explore veggies, you're like, oh my gosh, I've been living a lie. There's so much to eat. When I cook a lot actually. And when I cook, sometimes you realize I may not cook the same meal or the same combination of meals, let's say for even a month and a half, every day. Like there's not the same. There's no same so combination.
Many different options.
So many options. So many ways of mishmashing, I guess. There's a lot to discover in that side. And once you do, you're like, oh my gosh, like this is good. And you just feel so much better. You feel lighter. It's actually quite addictive. The feeling is addictive. So I'm always scared if I ever go back, because I don't say I will never, because I don't know. That person I'll be. If I ever go back, I just hope I won't lose this feeling that I have.
So does that mean also alcohol is not?
I've never really been an alcohol drinker, to be honest. But I guess even if I was, once you go for an healthier lifestyle, then automatically your body rejects.
automatically it starts dropping.
Yeah, it starts dropping. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not an alcohol drinker. I would have a beer when I'm watching football. A cider here and there. But it's not something that I would, go out and drink. I've been drunk twice in my life. Yeah.
Which time? Why those 2 times? Which scenarios?
Oh gosh, the scenarios are long. You have time?
Yes.
I'll give you one scenario. One scenario was in South Africa. It was our first trip out of the country. Actually, we were called for Big Brother. It was a big deal. Yeah, big. So we're performing for Big Brother. So we're also excited. And it was going to South Africa. The hospitality for superstars is the best. It's up
Top
there.
Notch.
It's up there. So young. We're 23 maybe. And being driven in these fancy cars. You get there, and backstage you're given that time. Can I mention brands?
Yes.
A whiskey brand. Let me say a whiskey brand that was quite famous, big at that time. Given a bottle at the back, like, hey, we could not afford that brand at that time. Yeah. So we divided it into 4, started drinking, and then we were called to a club. They called us literally after the show. We were in our hotel rooms, and they're like, "Yeah, we'd love to host you." Like, hey, us, like, how do you know us? Like, okay. So we went there and we sat down, and we were brought for a lot of drinks, and then I mixed drinks. And so I remember just being on the pavement, completely, just drunk.
I can't
and being helped to my room. Imagine. Yeah, but I was young. I was so young. And I just didn't like the feeling, to be honest. So I drink moderately. Social drinking. So that's one scenario.
Second time?
What was the second time? I'm trying to remember. Second time, I think it was away. In one of the tours, yes. It was in Amsterdam.
Oh, that city.
Yeah, yeah. So it was in Amsterdam. One of our first tours. And it was a house party that we had gone for. Also very young. Still around that age. It could have even been the same year, actually, probably. And that's the second time, and I just didn't like, I'm like, in the morning I can't do anything. Of course, you're younger, you have a bit more energy, but it's just you have a headache the whole day. Or I guess some people know how to handle it. I'm not a judge. I'm not going to judge people rather, but it's just not for me. I'm not just a drinker. Yeah.
Now you had a show with your wife.
Yeah.
Cooking
with the
affordable cooking.
The Old's Kitchen.
The Old's Kitchen, but it was more
yes.
affordability,
sustainability,
recipes.
Yes.
Is it coming back?
I don't know, to be honest, because at that time we had so much time in our hands. It was a COVID child. We had a lot of time, and it was great for what it was. And even in that era, as I'd say, because time has evolved so fast.
Yeah.
Even if it was COVID.
Because right now it's like 5 years later.
Yeah, but even that kind of content has to evolve. So we're also figuring out what that would evolve into. Because that was mostly YouTube, long videos. Now it's a lot of short form videos, quick, a lot of. So it's like I was just trying to find, how that would look like. But also we've become just extremely busy. So that as well. And also pursuing many other different things. So it may or it may not come back. Well, no. Yeah.
Also, hapo kwa gym, wewe na Chuma.
Yes.
You're like brothers.
Yes.
Why is fitness a thing for you?
Fitness is everything.
Is it for aesthetic look, ama is it for now along with the lifestyle change?
Yeah.
Healthy habits. Is it on the same line?
Well, both. So when you're young and naive, it's definitely for aesthetics. Even though there are health benefits.
Yeah.
And also in the career that you're in, you just have to look good. It's just when I look good and looking good from some of us means looking good like your body and being chiseled and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we took it seriously. But you see, with fitness, now what we got to discover is it brings a lot of discipline in your life.
Yeah.
That you need, especially as an artist in this world of ours, where you may have long nights of studio or performances, and the next day you are, lazy, or you go back to studio and maybe studio drinking or doing whatever it is. Then your health deteriorates and you keep it on the side.
Yeah.
So you have to be so intentional with thinking that, this is something that I need to pay attention to, and this is how it helps me. So we started working out. Nishike times, like, that was for aesthetics. And we went hard. I think we worked out for I think almost 3 months of intense workout, and that's the product in Nishike is
the transformation.
That is the product. But then even as you're doing it, you feel so good. You sleep so much better than you used to.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is great. So you even get addicted, because even the endorphins that are produced, they make you feel great. And then you now start taking it seriously. Like, okay, what workout now works for me? Am I a runner? Am I a swimmer? Do I lift weights? What is it? So you kind of try everything, and then you find what works for you. And for me, I've tried almost everything, to be honest. And in the phase I'm in right now, I'm doing a lot of CrossFit and running. So those are my two poisons. And the thing is, it gives you so much mental strength more than anything. So now I don't care. I don't care about my physics.
It's just too intense.
Oh yeah, it's very intense.
Rips you
crazy. CrossFit is intense. Running is also not easy at all. If I tell you right now, we run until the road, you're like,
mi si wa kukimbia, mi ni wa kupanda.
Oh, okay, nice. Hiking. Yes.
Mountain climbing.
Exactly. Yeah, so you find there's so many great benefits of movement that there's no way I can not have that happiness. I can't deny myself that happiness. There's mental strength, as I said. There's community. There's just feeling great. Your body feels great. There's confidence. There's so many layers that, honestly, people who really don't work out, I don't know where they get their strength from. I really don't understand, because what it does for you, of course, you could still have that without it, but if you add that to your regime or to your day-to-day, then you literally go a level higher, for sure. Yeah. And also, our life has always been very demanding. I've been touring for the past 17 years, non-stop. Like, there's no year I am not out of this country for all those years. And touring, usiona ati ni raha. Touring is one of the most exhausting. It's extremely exhausting. So people will say, you're in Paris, you're in Brussels, you're here. And for us, it's like, yes, it's great. I will love it, absolutely, 100%. I wouldn't do it any other way. But the mental effect it has on you, the physical effect it has on you, is very huge. So how you regulate that is with movement and workout is you actually feel strong. So you're able to perform 15 nights in a row, 15 different cities, and you're traveling every day, So it just keeps you fit. On stage, people forget that being on stage is a workout.
It is.
It is a workout. I'm there for 2 hours, playing, dancing, singing, moving. It is a workout. I get tired. I get exhausted. The artists who cannot be on stage after 30 minutes, they're tired. So we go for dance classes to just get that endurance as well. So even working out is mostly for endurance, and that's why I love CrossFit and running. There's a lot of those two are the masters of endurance.
If you lose it mentally, physically, you're done. So the benefits are just too immense for me not to have that. And now I'm addicted. I can't go 2 days without working out. Like, this is my second day because I've been so busy. I haven't worked out yesterday and today. Can't miss tomorrow. I will feel like I can't move. You're launching your guitar line.
Yes.
What does it look like?
It looks like magic.
It is.
There's actually two of them. Two different series.
So there'll be series. 2 different series.
Yeah.
How long has it taken for you to?
Interesting enough, since I was a child. I've had this dream since I was a child. And I used to make guitars off of kasuku. kasukutins, some pieces of wood, just for fun. Of course, I didn't even know it was not functional, but it's things that I was very handy when I was a child. Still am. Fancy fingers, clearly. And now picking up the guitar later on in life, it's like full circle. And then also coming from a family where my grandfather was a guitarist as well.
It runs in
the blood. So I feel like I'm living, I always say this, I feel like I'm living his dream. And I feel like this is what he would have wanted me to do. And something that I've had in my mind for so long. And traveling all over the world and seeing how even something as simple as access to instruments can change your life.
Yeah.
And that's not something that we have quite in abundance in the continent, in Africa. And even in Kenya, It's getting better and better, of course, with time. But it's very hard for a kid from Kariobangi South, and that's me, to say I want to be a musician and I'm gonna get a good quality guitar from where I can't travel out. I don't have people who are going out to bring me stuff. So where do I get it from? So there's been all of that in my head over all these years. Another thing also is a lot of these instruments are built off of, it's a typical African story, just off of raw materials from Africa. And expertise is outside. I don't blame the people who are doing that or doing the expertise, but what can we do as ourselves? As Africans? How do we tell our own story through music? We say we are the cradle of mankind here. So how do we, or even music is born in Africa. So how then do we not further that by being in the same space with all these other different continents? Yeah, so it's in my Pan-Africanness and my entrepreneurship. I was just like, you know what? There has to be an African guitar line that speaks, that when you see, you relate to it as a musician. You just see and you see yourself. You're like, oh my gosh, this is me. And that does a lot to your brain. Yeah, you pick it up and you start creating amazing music just because you feel connected to that guitar. Music for me is very spiritual. So even the instruments you play with and the instruments you make music with have a huge effect. You can ask any instrumentalist if they if a drummer gets on a drum set that is of a high quality, they would play things they've never played before. It's like even driving. If I put you on a high level Mercedes Benz and you're used to a beat up old car, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this moves so well. Like this is, I can do this. I can, So it's just the same effect. And also to bring also the best quality of instruments that come from here and saying that we can compete with the best in the world. It's just a very passionate project for me. And also just to inspire.
Have names?
Yes.
Guitars?
Yes. So the brand name as a whole is Jawaya. Jawaya. So even the music, the album Jawaya Thum is all tied into Jawaya. It's a whole thought process that I had last year in how to mix all these things. So Jawaya in Luo means guitarist. Wire is just wire. So Jawaya is off the wire. So it's the string instrumentalist. And the reason I wanted to give it an African name and a Luo name is because, it needs, again, you need to see it and be like, oh my gosh, if you're African, you relate to it. If you're not African, you'll be like, wow, this is an amazing African. Yeah, interesting. What is this? So that's a brand name. And even the designs are very African. I'll show them to you. And there's 2 series. One is called Dala and one is called Sayun. So those are the beginning series of this brand of guitars that will have many guitars coming up. So, but these are the first 2. Dala being home, so it's very symbolic because it's brown in color. That's the earth that we are in here in Africa. I mean, the whole earth, anywhere in the world, the earth is brown. But Dala is home, and Dala is home. Africa is home to us. Africa is home to music. Africa is home to a lot of heritage and culture. So it's like, this is my home. And then Sayun is like your destination of where you'd want to be, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually. It's like a destination. So you work towards that.
You also have a concert
Yes.
coming up in May.
Yes.
Where is it happening? Which days? Which place? Where can guys?
So concert. Do I need to look at the camera? Or do I just talk to you?
Yes. Talk to the people.
All right, so yes, Jawai Jathum, if you haven't listened to the album, that's my latest album, in collaboration with the amazing Winyo. And we will have a concert on May 3rd at Mass House. So May 3rd is a Saturday. Yes, it is a Saturday. May 3rd, come through. You can go to my social media. It's me, Fancy Fingers. On my bio, there's a link there to get your tickets. It's going to be a fantastic, amazing, one of the best shows you'll ever see. That one I can assure you.
Nice. Winyo was here and said music is spiritual. You have also said
it is the most spiritual. It's even scary how spiritual it is.
So guys, go see spiritual people live.
Yes.
See you guys on the next episode. Kwaheri.
Bye.